Hey, welcome to Canada, where I'm doing, at least this time of year anyway, one of Canada's not so favorite pastimes, and that's shoveling the driveway. I'm out here shoveling for the millionth time, I think. I have quite a long laneway. Anyway, in case you're wondering if you have the right video or not, this is part 10 of the Super Base project. And let me just say, it's one of the funnest projects I've done. And if you haven't caught it from video number 1, go back and check them all out because it's worth it. It's really cool to see how it went from almost nothing to this weird super base. Anyways, I got to get back to shoveling. I'm pretty happy with this. Pretty satisfied. It looks pretty much how I envisioned it to look. One thing that I was a little nervous about was whether or not I actually covered the blue completely, like 100%. And you could take a look at something like right here, that little bit sticking out. You know, that kind of worries me now that I'm looking at it. You know, did some paint get underneath? Because any overspray on the blue would be kind of a nightmare to try to fix. I'm having a lot of fun removing this tape. This is one of the funnest parts of any paint job because this is where you get to see what your creation looks like, all your hard work. It's like Christmas morning. It's really kind of paying off a little bit because I'm really liking it's turning out well. It can be a bit stressful sometimes if you come across something that doesn't work out, like you didn't push the tape down quite hard enough and you get a little bit of overspray or some bleed through, but this is looking really good and I'm really excited. The worst part so far, this little section here, there's a bit of overspray, but at first I kind of panicked a bit, but it's really not that bad because most of it will be hidden by the red pinstripe, and then I can kind of sand away a little bit really lightly and you'll never ever see this, so I'm not too worried. So I'm just gonna continue on and hopefully that's the worst I see. What I'm doing here is I'm masking up and getting ready for the red pinstripe, and this tape is about 1/3 of the size compared to what I used for Around the Flames, and I'm also being much more careful when I'm going into these corners and trying to keep everything even and all my, like, the radius nice and even without any square edges. I wasn't so concerned before because I knew that that red pinstripe was going to cover it. But the best way to do this would be with a pinstripe brush. You know, the old school hot rods use that, but that requires a lot of skill, and I certainly don't have it. But I am going to brush it on instead of spray it because I'm much too paranoid. I would have to completely cover this whole body, and there's a big chance that I wouldn't cover some little area, and I'd get red overspray somewhere like here, and that would be kind of a disaster. So I don't want to deal with that, and I'm going to do it the easy way. Plus, it's going to take so much time to tape this body up, I might as well just brush it on. So it's going to look good. So I think one more coat of the red for the pinstripe, and then take all that tape off, make sure they're all even. Maybe there's some touch-up somewhere, I don't know. And hopefully there's no bleed through anywhere. I put on a very dry coat for the first two, just so it wouldn't seep underneath the tape anywhere. And then once I figured the paint had kind of sealed, then I put on a heavy coat. I'm just about to put on a heavy coat now. When I mean heavy coat, what I've done is, because I had spray paint, I just sprayed it into the this little cup here to brush it on. And this stuff is very, very thin. You can see how it's very, very thin, and that's how spray paint works. You can't have it thick, so it takes a while to build up a good coat anyways. I'll put one more coat on and see what it's like when I take the tape off. I've just finished removing all the thin tape that I put on. All in all, I'm kind of excited, but I'm also kind of disappointed. The whole reason I brushed the red on was to try to save myself a little time, and I was also a little afraid that I was going to get some overspray on a place that I didn't mask properly, and got a few areas where I've got some bleed through. At this point, like I said, I'm kind of disappointed. Right now, I'm not going to touch it at all. I'm going to leave it. I'm going to continue taking the rest of this tape off, the thin stuff. But as far as trying to do anything right now at this point, I've learned from experience, when you're disappointed, you wait and you think a little bit and you come up with an idea. So, little setback. Kind of sucks. Now that I've taken off all of the tape, I'm kind of happier. I'm kind of more satisfied. It does look pretty good, except for that. And over here, there's another one right in the middle there. A couple there and a couple in the back. You know, I've learned my lesson here. Take my time. Stop rushing. I am trying to rush this because of weather, and I want to get it done. I'm kind of impatient sometimes. So I just finished a little spot right here. And it's pretty invisible at this point. I mean, you can see a minor dent where I scraped off the red. There's one there I'm kind of happy about. It was a big blob of red. It's pretty much invisible. And the only thing that's really giving it away now, if you can see like that one right here, color is the same. It's just the texture is making it stand out. And once clear coat is on here and I sand in between each coat, the texture will be the same, and that should disappear. Anyway, what really saved the day for this was these are tiny little sticks, plastic sticks, with tiny little foam blobs on the end. And the other thing that saved it was this little, it's a pocket magnifier. So I could really kind of zoom in on that spot. And with that tiny little sponge on the end of a stick, it's almost like microscopic surgery. All right, save the day. Fucking